What if you have never made a single decision in your entire life? Not one, not what to eat this morning, not who to love, not what to believe. What if every choice you think you made was already unfolding, and your mind simply invented the story of a you who decided? That's not a philosophical riddle. That's the central claim of one of the most quietly devastating books written about human consciousness. And once you actually understand it, not just hear it, but understand it, something shifts that cannot be shifted back. Robert Saltzman was not a monk. He was not a guru sitting on a mountain. He was an artist living an ordinary life, carrying ordinary ambitions, when something cracked open without warning. No meditation retreat triggered it, no spiritual crisis, no near-death experience. One moment, the sense of being a separate self, a me in charge of thoughts, steering decisions, authoring a life, simply became obviously, undeniably false. Not as a belief, not as a philosophy, as something seen directly. What Saltzman noticed was this: thoughts appear. Nobody sends them. Emotions arise. Nobody orders them. Memories surface. Nobody summons them. Experience just happens. And the voice inside that says, I'm the one doing this. That voice is just another thought appearing in the stream. It's not the driver, it's a passenger pretending to hold the wheel. This is where most people get uncomfortable, and that discomfort is worth paying attention to. Because if thoughts arise before you're aware of them, if emotions appear without permission, if your preferences were shaped by your biology, your childhood, your environment, things you never chose, then what exactly are you deciding? Neuroscience has been circling this for decades. Brain activity precedes conscious awareness of a decision by several seconds. The choice happens, and then you feel like you made it. Saltzman isn't trying to make you feel helpless. He's pointing at something stranger and more interesting than that. If no one is truly controlling their thoughts and reactions, if people are expressing the conditions that shaped them, then blame starts to dissolve. Not as a moral position, not because forgiveness is the right thing to do, but because the logic of blame quietly collapses. The person who hurt you was also just unfolding like weather, like everything else. Here's where Saltzman breaks from almost every spiritual tradition. The fantasy version of enlightenment goes like this: you wake up, you transcend your flaws, you become calm and luminous and free from suffering. That's not what he describes. After awakening, anger still appears, fear still appears, petty thoughts still appear. The personality doesn't evaporate. The difference is subtler and in some ways more useful. Those emotions are no longer mistaken for your identity. Anger comes, it passes. It doesn't become a 3-week story about who wronged you and what that means about your life. Fear arises, it moves through. It doesn't attach to a narrative about the future. Emotions become weather, passing through the sky, rather than the sky itself. Saltzman is skeptical of organized spirituality, not out of cynicism, but out of intellectual honesty. Most traditions offer explanations: eternal selves, divine beings, cosmic purpose, universal consciousness. These are stories. They may be beautiful stories, they may be comforting stories, but they cannot be verified. And here's what's strange about spiritual belief: it can become the most sophisticated form of avoiding the actual present moment. You adopt the concept, I am pure awareness, everything is one, and the concept becomes a mental object you carry around. That's not the same as seeing clearly, and that's just a new belief system replacing the old one. What Saltzman points toward is the opposite. Not certainty, but the complete willingness to not know. Here's what nobody can explain. You are aware right now. Something is happening in you that registers experience. Light, sound, thought, sensation. Scientists can describe the neural correlates. Philosophers can theorize endlessly. But the basic fact that anything is experienced at all, that there is something it is like to be you, remains completely unexplained. This isn't a gap that will be filled with more research. It's called the hard problem of consciousness for a reason. Saltzman's move is unusual. Instead of filling that mystery with a belief, he suggests standing directly inside it. Stop demanding an answer. Notice what happens? The present moment becomes sharper, more immediate, not because it gained cosmic meaning, but because you stopped overlaying it with mental noise. So what does Saltzman actually offer? No program, no technique, no guarantee. Just this. The stream of experience is not happening to a self. The stream is the self. There's no observer standing apart from what's being observed. No thinker that is separate from thoughts, no experiencer waiting behind experience. It's all one continuous arising, moment by moment, endlessly changing. And you are not the editor of that process. You are the process. Here's the uncomfortable part. You just heard all of this, and some part of your mind is already deciding whether to accept it or reject it. Already forming a position, defending something, looking for the flaw in the argument. Watch that happening. That movement, that reflex. That's what the book is pointing at. Not as a problem to fix, but as something to see clearly.
Thank you for watching. If this content resonated with you, I would appreciate your likes and comments, which help this reach more people who might find it useful.